The scene was set against the majestic backdrop of the royal palace in Oslo, Norway. The sun shone brightly on this historic landmark, casting long shadows on the cobblestone square where tourists gathered to witness a traditional royal ceremony. Among them stood Royal Guard Erik, immaculately dressed in his dark blue uniform adorned with silver accents. His short blonde hair framed a serious face that reflected years of discipline and duty. Erik stood stoically, as he had been trained to do, embodying the very essence of authority and tradition. Nearby, tourist Jake decided to seize the moment for some lighthearted fun. Wearing a bright red Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses, he exuded an air of carefree confidence. With a mischievous glint in his eye, Jake began to pose dramatically in front of Erik, mimicking the guard's rigid stance with exaggerated gestures. Laughter erupted from the crowd as Jake's antics drew attention, and cameras clicked away to capture this unexpected spectacle. The tension built as Jake pushed his performance further. He leaned in closer to Erik, his confident smirk contrasting sharply with the guard's unwavering demeanor. The crowd watched with bated breath, some wondering if Erik would finally break character, while others edged closer to witness how far Jake would go. What could possibly break the guard's unshakable demeanor? What happens next will leave everyone in awe. As the royal ceremony unfolded amidst the grandeur of the palace, excitement buzzed through the air. Tourists milled about with cameras ready to capture every moment of this regal display. The architecture reflected centuries of royal tradition, a stark contrast to the lively chatter of visitors. Royal Guard. Erik stood unwavering at his post, embodying discipline and professionalism in his immaculate uniform. He was a sentinel of history, representing centuries of duty and authority. Nearby, Jake approached playfully, eager to test the limits of this stoic figure. Starting with exaggerated poses for photos, Jake quickly drew laughter from onlookers, who were entertained by his antics. With each daring gesture, Jake's confidence swelled as he reveled in the crowd's amusement. The stage was set for an unforgettable encounter, one that would leave both Jake and the spectators with a deeper understanding of respect and boundaries. If you were Erik, how would you handle such mockery? Jake began with a playful smirk as he stood at a respectful distance from Erik, mimicking the guard's stiff posture that characterized these dignified figures. His movement seemed harmless at first, a gentle parody meant to amuse those around him. Friends laughed heartily while onlookers snapped photos of this light-hearted moment. However, emboldened by their reactions, Jake decided to push boundaries further. He edged closer to Erik, his movements becoming bolder and more exaggerated. Mimicking Erik's disciplined stance, he pretended to march stiffly back and forth before pausing to give an over-the-top salute that elicited more laughter from spectators. Yet as Jake's antics grew increasingly theatrical, whispers of unease began to ripple through the crowd. Some sensed that what had started as harmless fun was straying into disrespectful territory. Still standing motionless in his immaculate uniform with silver accents and short blonde hair radiating authority was Erik, a living testament to discipline. Soon enough, Jake crossed an unmistakable line when he stood directly in front of Erik and leaned in too closely for comfort. He waved a hand mockingly in front of Erik's face as if daring him to flinch while spectators watched with mixed feelings of amusement and discomfort. His exaggerated antics turned into a mocking imitation of Erik's stoicism. He struck poses meant to ridicule professionalism itself. The air grew tense as murmurs. Meanwhile, in stark contrast, stood guard holding ground firmly against tide rising up against him, threatening wash away everything believed held dear within heart-soul. Dedicated service, rendered faithfully throughout years spent training, preparing. Moments like these when tested mettle would determine true worthiness title bestowed upon him long ago. Despite pressures mounting steadily against him, Erik drew strength from training instilled deeply within mind, body, spirit alike. Focus, narrowing down principles guiding every action taken during course duty performed daily, without fail regardless. Circumstances faced outside realm control encountered daily life. Lived outside walls enclosing palace grounds surrounding them both. Now standing firm against tide rising up against them. Threatening wash away everything believed held dear within. Heart-soul dedicated service rendered faithfully throughout years spent training. Preparing moments like these when tested metal would determine true worthiness title bestowed upon him long ago. Yet even he wasn't immune, subtle tension crackling through air-thickening atmosphere surrounding them both. Now standing firm against tide, rising up against them, threatening wash away. Everything believed held dear within heart-soul dedicated. Service rendered faithfully throughout years spent training. Preparing moments like these when tested metal would determine true worthiness title bestowed upon him long ago. As atmosphere shifted subtly yet unmistakably, the tourists, and then came moment-defining silence, broken only sound footsteps echoing loudly beneath soles. Polished boots gliding effortlessly across cobblestones beneath feet. Planted firmly ground beneath weight responsibility carried heavily upon shoulders. Broad, strong, capable bearing burden placed squarely upon them willingly without hesitation. Second thoughts lingering behind every movement, made thereafter leading toward inevitable confrontation. Looming overhead, casting shadow, darkening light. Once bright, illuminating path forward ahead toward resolution. Sought desperately needed restore balance. Harmony disrupted earlier today. In that instant, the air shifted dramatically. A collective gasp rippled through crowd gathered here today, bearing witness spectacle unfolding right before eyes, watching intently, awaiting next move made between two opposing forces clashing. Head-on amidst backdrop grandeur surrounding them both, now standing firm against tide. Rising up against them, threatening wash away everything. Believed held dear within heart soul. Dedicated service rendered faithfully throughout years spent training. Preparing moments like these when tested metal would determine true worthiness title bestowed upon him long ago. And then it happened. The moment everyone had been waiting for arrived unexpectedly yet inevitably. A confrontation sparked, igniting flames, passion burning brightly, illuminating darkness surrounding all present here today. Witnessing spectacle unfold right before eyes, watching intently, awaiting next. The crowd reacted, awesome, cheering, others remaining stunned, unexpected turn events unfolding. Right before eyes, watching intently, awaiting next move made between two opposing forces clashing head-on, amidst backdrop grandeur surrounding them both, now standing firm against tide rising up against them. Threatening wash away everything believed held dear within heart-soul. Dedicated service rendered faithfully throughout years spent training. Preparing moments like these when tested metal would determine true worthiness title bestowed upon him long ago. What followed was powerful lesson. Respect authority conveyed silently yet profoundly through actions taken. Words left unspoken, resonating deeply within hearts, minds, souls. All present here today, witnessing spectacle unfold right before eyes, watching, intently awaiting next move made between two opposing forces clashing head-on amidst backdrop grandeur. Surrounding them both, now standing firm against tide, rising up against them. Threatening wash away everything believed held dear within heart. Soul dedicated service rendered faithfully throughout years spent training. Preparing moments like these when tested metal would determine true worthiness title bestowed upon him long ago. And so it came time for resolution. Sought desperately needed restore balance, harmony disrupted earlier today. A closure marked by reflection. Understanding, gained through experience lived, shared together. Side by side,